What if I told you that God is not an idea outside of you, but a force woven into the deepest layers of your own psyche? What if belief and doubt, faith and denial, were not opposites, but mirrors reflecting a hidden truth within your soul? Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist often called the architect of the unconscious, dared to say something heretical. The experience of God is psychological, and yet, for Jung, that did not make God unreal. It made God unavoidable. Tonight, you will step into his forbidden thought world. You will discover why Jung believed that to deny the divine is to deny a part of your very being. And you will learn why, for Jung, God was not a doctrine, but a living presence breaking through dreams, symbols, and archetypes, demanding recognition. Close your eyes. Imagine that the horizon of your mind is not empty. Beneath your thoughts, beneath your rational certainty, there is a churning ocean. In Jung's language, this ocean is the collective unconscious, the shared psychic reservoir that holds humanity's deepest myths and images. And rising from that ocean are figures that shape our lives: the hero, the mother, the shadow. But there is one figure Jung called the archetype of the self. And within this archetype lies the root of all religious experience. This is what he meant when he said, "It is not I who create God, it is God who creates me." To Jung, the divine was not an optional belief. It was a structural reality of the human psyche, an archetype that pressed itself into awareness, whether we welcomed it or not. Ask yourself, how many times in your life have you felt a presence larger than yourself, a moment of awe, terror, or transcendence that cracked open your rational mind? That moment, Jung would say, was the God image breaking through. Jung made a radical distinction. He said, God, as we speak of him, is always an image, never the infinite itself. What you and I carry is not God in his essence, but the imago Dei, the image of God etched into the psyche. In other words, you cannot grasp God directly, but your psyche will generate symbols of the divine. The cross, the mandala, the shining light in a dream. These are psychic footprints of something greater than the ego can contain. And here lies the paradox. If you deny these symbols, if you repress the God image, it does not vanish. It turns dark. It becomes neurosis. Jung warned that when the divine archetype is ignored, it returns as obsession, addiction, or nihilism. The God we refuse becomes the demon that possesses us. Jung offered us a hidden map, a framework for how the God archetype manifests. The distant father, the transcendent God, felt as absolute authority beyond human reach. The inner Christ, the immanent presence, the divine spark within every soul. The dark opponent, the shadow side of divinity, the God image seen in wrath, chaos, and destruction. The wholeness beyond duality. The self, the union of opposites, where light and shadow, good and evil, are reconciled. Think of these as lenses, each one revealing a different facet of how humans encounter the sacred. And Jung's warning was clear. If you cling to only one, say, a God of light without acknowledging the shadow, you fall into imbalance. You split reality. You deny the totality. For Jung, theology was never enough. He believed arguments for or against God missed the point. The question was not, does God exist? The question was, do you encounter the God within your psyche? He wrote, I do not believe. I know. But he did not mean he knew God in a scientific sense. He meant he knew the experience of the God image, visions, dreams, synchronicities that could not be reduced to mere illusion. Consider a dream where light pours from the sky and you awaken trembling. Rationally, you can dismiss it. But psychologically, Jung would say, you have touched the numinous. And whether you call it God, spirit, or the self, the experience leaves a mark on your soul. But here is the danger. If the God image is within us, then the line between divine inspiration and destructive delusion is razor thin. History is filled with those who mistook their personal inflation for the voice of God. Jung's ethical guardrail was humility. He warned, when you encounter the archetype, you must not identify with it. To say, I am God, is to fall into madness. Instead, you must bow before it, recognizing its reality without becoming consumed. This is why he saw religious ritual and myth as essential. They provided containers, symbols, and stories that allowed the psyche to hold the power of the divine without being shattered by it. Jung also believed that our modern crisis is spiritual. As society turned away from religion, the God archetype did not disappear, it transformed. It leaked into politics, ideology, even technology. We began worshipping the state, the market, the machine, and with each substitution, the divine energy grew darker, more dangerous. He warned, when the God image is projected onto human institutions, we create idols that demand sacrifice. Wars, fanaticisms, obsessions, all are symptoms of a collective that has lost its living relationship to the divine within. So here is Jung's forbidden wisdom. God is not merely out there in the heavens. God is the deepest symbol at the core of your being. To reject him is to reject part of your own soul. To accept him is not to accept a dogma, but to enter a dialogue with the mystery unfolding inside you. Ask yourself, when was the last time you felt awe so vast it dissolved your ego? When was the last time a dream or synchronicity spoke to you as if the universe itself were whispering your name? That moment is not an illusion. It is the threshold of God within. And now, the choice is before you. Will you repress the God image, letting it fester in the shadows? Or will you step into conscious dialogue with it, acknowledging its reality, respecting its power, and allowing it to shape you toward wholeness? Remember this: Jung never asked you to believe in God as dogma. He asked you to witness God as experience, to treat every dream, every symbol, every eruption of meaning as a message from the deepest part of existence itself. So, when you close your eyes tonight and the silence surrounds you, listen. Perhaps you will hear what Jung himself heard, that the divine is not outside you, nor inside you, but through you. The self, the living God, awakening. This is your threshold. Cross it. If these insights stirred something within you, leave your reflections in the comments below. Share the dream or the moment where you felt the numinous breakthrough. Subscribe for more journeys into the hidden depths of mind, myth, and reality. And remember, you are not merely searching for God, you are remembering the God image already alive in you.